Why every home I list gets a home inspection before we go to market. I'm Don Ranni, your realtor with Royal LePage Atlantic and the Owning Halifax team. Today I want to talk about one of the biggest reasons my listings tend to have smoother sales processes. Fewer surprises, less stress, and often stronger prices. It's something that many realtors still don't do, and they definitely don't recommend. So every home I take to market, I have it professionally pre-inspected. Now, before you click away thinking, why would I inspect my own house before I even have a buyer? Let me explain. After helping hundreds of buyers and sellers over 14 years of real estate here in Halifax, I've learned one thing. Surprises are expensive. And almost every expense surprise happens after an offer has already been accepted. Today I'm going to explain why I insist on pre-inspections, how they protect my clients when they make sense, and why I think they become one of the most important tools in today's market. Now, every home has deficiencies. I built a brand new home here in West Bedford. I had a home inspection done on it, and yes, we found deficiencies that we needed to get addressed. So the first thing I tell every seller is, I've never inspected a perfect home, not one. Doesn't matter if it's 5 years old, 1 year old, 100 years old. Every property has deficiencies, and maybe if it's a loose railing, maybe it's a cracked window, maybe there's moisture being in the attic, maybe we have mold, maybe we have an electrical panel that is known to short out and cause fires. Simply part of home ownership is manual annual maintenance, which a lot of homeowners just don't do because it's manual. They actually physically have to do it or physically call someone and have them come do it. So a lot of homes have what I call deferred maintenance. And before we bring your home to the market, we want to catch up on all that deferred maintenance and address any other issues we might come across. The worst time to discover a problem is during an offer period. Imagine this, your home goes on the market. You receive multiple offers. You're excited. I'm excited. We negotiate a great price. We get it accepted. You celebrate. Then the buyer hires a home inspector. A few days later, they come back asking for thousands of dollars off the price, or asking you to fix a lot of things, or worse yet, terminating your deal and moving on to something else. Now, one, you're in a bad negotiating position because they have a home inspection in their hand and they're saying, this professional person has said, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed, this is what it's going to cost. Now you're losing tens of thousands of dollars. And you have no real strong position or leverage to push back on. Already mentally moved on, did that celebration, probably started planning the move, planning around these dates. So you're really losing more and more leverage, and you're losing more and more energy to push back. Suddenly, you're worried about the buyer walking away. And what should have been a happy moment becomes very stressful. I've seen deals fall apart over issues that could have been fixed, or a few $100s before the house even hit the market. Knowledge creates leverage. Now imagine a different scenario. We inspect the home before it goes live. We discover a few issues, nothing catastrophic. A couple of maintenance items, the heat pumps need servicing, a couple of deck boards need to be replaced, the bathroom fan should have a better vent on it. Now you have choices. You can repair them, you can disclose them, or you can price accordingly. You make the decision on your timeline, not the buyer's, and on your knowledge and my advice. Now, what I recommend is we do the home inspection, we fix some of the minor issues, and we do full transparency. We provide the home inspection, the summary, to buyers and the public before they write an offer. Buyers love transparency. Here's something sellers don't really realize. A pre-inspection isn't just for you or me. It's also one of the strongest marketing tools available. Think about yourself for a minute. If you were buying a used vehicle, would you rather buy one that comes with a recent inspection, or one that you're crossing your fingers, hoping nothing's wrong, and that it passes and an inspection. Homes are no different. When buyers see a professional inspection already completed, they immediately feel more comfortable. It builds confidence, it demonstrates honesty, it reduces fear, and buyers who feel comfortable often make stronger offers. It makes negotiations a lot easier. One of the biggest advantages comes during negotiations. Instead of buyers saying, we found these problems, they're saying, we already knew about these. That's a completely different conversation. If we've already repaired the items, great. If we've disclosed them, great. If we've priced the home accordingly, also great. The inspection removes uncertainty for everyone involved, especially you, the seller. It also helps you budget. Sometimes sellers assume every inspection issue will cost thousands of dollars. Most don't. Many repairs are surprisingly affordable, and surprisingly, you can do them yourself. A few $100s there will go a long way. By spending a small amount before listing your home, you often avoid much larger negotiations later. Because when a buyer is going to take on the responsibility of a repair, there's a few things that add to the value and cost of that. One is the cost. So you get a quote, this is what it is. But there's also a concession that needs to be made there because now the buyer is taking on the responsibility of managing that repair and the risk of discovering something more. So there is times where the quote might be $500, but they're going to ask for more just in case this is discovered. Or I hate dealing with tradespeople coming in my home and I got to manage this. I got to get someone in. They're going to take 2 months. So it takes a lot of that away and saves you money in the end. Obviously, I'm all about advertising and marketing, and this just creates a better marketing opportunity for me. When I market a listing, I want buyers to feel confident. Imagine reading a listing that says, professionally pre-inspected, roof professionally evaluated, minor repairs completed, no deferred home maintenance. Immediately separates your property from others that you're competing against. People feel safer making offers, especially first-time home buyers, on properties that a lot of transparency from the seller and an actual professional report they can read through before writing an offer. So you're probably asking, well, Don, do I have to repair everything? No, everything doesn't need to be done. There are some things that are just acceptable items that buyers will take on. Like I said at the beginning, there is no perfect home and no home without deficiencies. So this is very important to understand. I don't tell every seller to fix every deficiency. Sometimes the smartest strategy is doing nothing. I know you like that one. It's not the common advice I give. Maybe the home is being sold as is. Then we're probably not going to do anything. You're going to say, well, Don, why do we get the pre-inspection? Because, again, it goes back to transparency and clarity when people are putting an offer in. So you're going to sell the home as is. Don, I'm not doing anything to this home. It needs a ton of work. Great. We're still going to pre-inspect it. You're going to know this is everything the inspector sees is wrong. And the buyer is going to know this is everything I'm going to run into after I get an offer accepted and I take this property on. Again, it doesn't matter if we're doing things or not doing things. The power of the pre-inspection and the home inspection is vast. It has a lot of things it's going to pay dividends in later down the road. It's basically about creating informed decisions, both on our end as the seller and the buyer. Today's market in Halifax is very different. And honestly, sellers and realtors are behind not picking up the pace to where the market is. The same thing happened during COVID. We were way behind. This was happening with the market and we were catching up trying to figure it out and navigating. Now things are getting back to 2018 and 2019 kind of market standards, and a lot of sellers and a lot of realtors unfortunately didn't even have a real estate license back then. So they don't understand what that market shift looks like and what it means for sellers and buyers today. But you want to know who really knows it? The buyers. The buyers aren't on top of it. They're very informed. A few years ago, buyers waived inspections. Today, no buyer is waiving an inspection. They're back to negotiating. They're asking more questions. And don't fall into the trap that, oh, we got this offer, they're not going to come back on anything because we gave them a really good price at the beginning. No, they're going to implement the famous two-tier negotiating strategy that went rampant in Halifax in 2013, probably all the way up to 2018, where we negotiated really hard to get an accepted offer in place at a lower price. Seller's like, I'm not doing anything on the inspection. Buyer did the inspection, and the seller still conceded on price or doing things for them because the market had shifted. So don't fall into that trap. The better you're prepared you are and your home is before we launch it, the stronger your position throughout the entire selling process. Now, my goal isn't just to sell homes or sell your home. My job isn't simply putting a sign on the lawn. My job is reducing risk, protecting my client's equity, maximizing your value, creating confidence not only in you, but in the buyer and the buyer's realtor in the property, making the transaction smooth and as stress-free as possible. Pre-inspection is one of the most valuable investments we make before listing a property. It helps eliminate surprises, it helps negotiate from strength, and ultimately it helps sellers move forward with confidence. Now let's take a pause. How many of you have asked, who's paying for the pre-inspection, Don? Well, I'm paying for it. I pay the company to come in, my upfront cost. There's no extra fees when I sell your home. I have a whole plan. A lot of things are incorporated in that plan, and I cover those costs. So it's not here, you have to pay for it. I take care of all of that. Now my final thoughts, you're probably saying, thank God we're here. If you're thinking about selling your home, even if it's 6 months away, I would encourage you to have a conversation with a realtor like myself, just with me, and whether a pre-listing inspection makes sense for your property or not. Every home is different, every seller's goals are different, but one thing never changes. The more information you have before you list, the better decisions you'll make when the time comes to sell. Now, if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like, subscribe buttons down here and leave a comment below. That'll help me grow this page and keep me going with these videos. I'd love to hear your experiences, good or bad, on the whole inspection process, whether it was just getting a home inspection, having a pre-inspection done. And if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in Halifax, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to answer your questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.